Sue Wilson back again with another video for you. We have a card that could be easily used for a wedding card or anniversary card or just a for you card. But I want to show off some of the new dies that we're using in it. They're so pretty. I have the stamp set for our sentiment called Gratitudes. This is an A5 stamp set from Creative Expressions. I'm just going to be using the leaf here from the Blushing Rose to accent a flower we'll be making. The Ornate Octagon Striplet we'll use as a border across the bottom, and I'm going to show you how to change that up a little bit. And the Hannah die from the Frames and Tag will give you the focal element for the top of the card. So there's a lot going on with this card, so I've gone ahead and done a little bit ahead of time just to kind of explain to you what I've done. The Hannah die comes in several sections. You have your outside cutting edge. You have your decorative insert here. Pop that up. There we go. And this is what I've used to cut the top part of this card just by itself without the outside cutting edge. So you get a pattern like that that stays inside your card. I've done that out of the coconut white, and then I've moved down and used the center of the Hannah die, skipping the outside cutting edge for that, and just use the decorative part to cut the center. Now, when you do this and you want them to line up, one of the things I find easiest to do is just give yourself a little extra card, and you can kind of maneuver it where it needs to be. Since there's a fair bit of that blue that needs to show, I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut it too short. So I can just cut both pieces and then line them up and then trim them. And I've put some mounting foam on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that into place. Just want to raise it up a little bit. Put it right over that and center it. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now behind this, I'm going to do a little sticky sheet onto another piece of white card, and I just need to cover that area right there. So we'll go ahead and peel the backing up on that. Just get it started. There we go. I'm going to bring in a piece of copy paper to put underneath and use my diamond sprinkles. You know how much I love these. I'm just going to give it some glitter. There we go. Okay. Now I can put that right on top of that, and I think I'll just use a bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue for that. All the way around the edge and just around the center portion there. There we go. So now the top part of my card is ready to go. So what I want to do is put something here. So I'm going to use the Ornate Octagon Striplet. So we'll go ahead and cut this out of white. Pop that down. Comes in two pieces, and we'll tape it together, just centering that outside frame around it. Oops. Moved a little bit on me. There we go. That's better. And we'll run it through the grand caliper. Should do the trick. Let's check it. Looks beautiful. I'm going to do a bit of embossing, so I'll just leave that and pop that over the top. Okay. Bits everywhere. Let's use our tool-in-one. Give it a little bit of a cleaning and go underneath the tape there. Go. Just going to see if I can get the rest of those out. Okay, all but a few. Let's just use our pokey tool on those. A lot of little curly bits. There we go. Okay. Get that one off of there. Let me just tidy these away. All right, so next I want to show you what you can do. It does look absolutely gorgeous like this, but sometimes you may not want the whole entire rectangle. So it's very easy to nip away this outside frame. And I'm just going to quickly cut it away. And then we'll show you what you can do. There we go. So now I just want to have a little bit more shape to it. So I can go back in following the line and clean it up so that I have just a real nice edge to it. There we go. Ever so slightly, you can follow the edge all the way around, taking off the little bits that were holding that rectangular frame to it. Super easy to do. And once you're finished with this, it will completely change the shape and the look of it. So it's almost like having two dies, which I like. There we go. And around the top edge here. Now, if you have any edges that are a little bit sharp, maybe need tidying, you can just take a little bit of sandpaper and give it a light sanding. But look at how that changes the way it looks. It's so different now. I'm going to go ahead, I've got one here I've tidied quite nicely, I think. I'm going to go ahead and put that into place, and I am just going to use a bit of spray glue for this because it's so delicate. Pop it into my little spray thing underneath here. There we go. Oops, little bit of a dirty mark there. There we go. And I'm going to put that right into place like that. So I'll add just a little tone-on-tone interest to the bottom of the card. So let's put that in place onto the base of our card. And then we'll add a floral element to it. There we go. Done my piercing. I have a little bit of the sky blue card that I've used on the center. There we go. And I'm going to be matching it to the ribbon that we're using. Now this is a 1.5 inch wide satin edged organza ribbon. What I've done is I've just cut it down the center to make this flower, okay? And I'm using a little bit of red line tape here to do this. 1/2 inch wide I find the easiest to use. I'm going to peel it off, and this cut edge I'm just going to catch with my red line tape as I go along, leaving the pretty satin edge to the top of the flower. There we go. Trim that. We're going to peel up the other side of that liner. Just get it started here. Got it. Okay. All right, first thing you want to do is peel or fold the corner down, and that will stick that cut edge into the tape. And then you're going to just start to roll it. So if you put it on your craft mat, that's the easiest way to go. So we're going to make the center of the flower just by rolling it a little bit. Okay. Now the way I do it is peel this up and let it hang, and then I can just start to go and make tiny itty bitty little pleats in that tape, and that will start to bring that ribbon around and a little bit fuller as you go. I have to admit, the very first time you do this, it's a little fussy because you have to get used to that feel of the tape, peeling it on and off your fingers and moving it, ever so slightly just turning that. So there is a bit of a learning curve to it, but once you've done a few of them, you'll find them really easy to do. So you can start to see how the flower is being formed. There we go. The nice thing is this technique can be done with absolutely any kind of ribbon. If it's quite wide, cut it in half, put the tape on the cut edge. If it's thin, like 1/2 inch or thinner, then you can just put this tape straight on and roll it the same way. I've yet to find a single ribbon that I can't do this with, so looks absolutely beautiful. The other thing is, if you decide, you get to the end of this and decide, oh, it's not quite full enough, I want a bigger flower, you can add more to it. You don't have to start over. If you decide that that's all you want, you can cut it and stop it, so it doesn't really matter. the length of it just depends on how big you want your flower. So now, let me get that right over here. When I get to the end here, I do the same exact thing, and I fold that edge down so it won't unravel, and just pop that around the edge of the bottom and work it in, okay? So there you have a nice little flower. So depending on how you make them, different sizes and whatnot. Now the thing you have to realize is that you've touched this bottom part with your hand, so you've taken some of the sticky away. So what you want to do is add a couple of glue dots, just so you know it's going to adhere nicely, back onto that. Okay, and I actually have a bit of baker's twine I'm going to put on in a blue pastel color first. Let me pop that into place. We'll put that right on the side over here. We're going to seat our flower over that, give it a good push into place. And I said I was adding some leaves from the blushing rose, so we'll do that. A little bit there. Tuck that underneath there, just so it's kind of sticking out from underneath it, like that. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of a tag, just says "for you" on it. I think that's quite nice to add to this. So we'll just tuck it under the other edge of the rose and finish that off. So pretty like that. And there you go. I would add a few pearls to finish it off, complete it, maybe in the center here, but that would make a beautiful wedding card for anybody, I think. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. You've learned a few things, and you'll come back and join us again soon.